Hey y'all, how y'all doing? It's Kaiser. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Welcome back to the work week. Those of us who, in the good old land of the free, home of the brave US of A, had a fantastic 4th of July yesterday, a great Independence Day. So, we're going to talk some more movies. I know. What else do you come here for, right? Well, anyway, we've got the news on Indy 5 and the weekend update. So that way we can kind of track what was happening at the box office over this past weekend. Kind of get a little bit of a taste for what is the situation on the ground. And, well, the big news that was on everybody's mind is Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Yeah, even with the 5-day run, the whole 4th of July weekend. So had a 5-day weekend, which has not happened on 4th of July weekend since, I believe, 2017. Yeah, this movie had everything going for it, and it's a flop. Well, guess what? So currently, the way we're looking at this, so it looks like after all the domestic tabulations were done, even with the 5-day bump, this movie only grossed $82 million through the 4th of July. So Deadline's got a little bit better version of this. So Indiana Jones, The Dial of Destiny, $82 million plus 5-day total, not far from July 4th disaster. Superman Returns, the box office. Yeah, this is abysmally bad. So, for anybody who's been out there looking at my videos, and I've had a handful of comments coming in saying, oh, you just hate Indiana Jones, and you just hate, strong, independent women who don't need no man, and you're just not secure in your masculinity. Okay, guys, I'm talking about the actual numbers. I'm talking about the real demographics. I'm talking about the information that actually makes money here. I want to talk about the money. I want to talk about the dollars and cents, people. So why did that movie not make money? Well, go back and watch my other videos and you'll have an exact idea, because has to start with the words Phoebe and ends with Waller-Bridge, aka Fleabag, being an absolute insufferable pest throughout the entire movie, and Indiana Jones being a simpering, whiny, not Indiana Jones. This is not Indiana Jones right here. This is not the guy. This is an imposter. This is not an Indiana Jones movie, as much as the credits will have you believe otherwise. Nope, this is fan fiction in all but, well, it is fan fiction. Let's just be honest. There are only 3 Indiana Jones movies: Raiders of the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom, and The Last Crusade. Yeah, that Kingdom of the Crystal Skull doesn't exist. It's fan fiction, and this is fan fiction, but worse than Crystal Skull. I will just come out and say it. This movie's worse than Crystal Skull. So, with that, let's actually get into the numbers. Let me actually get down to the nitty-gritty, what actually matters here. Let's talk about that money, that sweet, sweet lucre. Yeah, so currently looking at the top 4 movies in the box office this past weekend. So Indiana Jones definitely was the highest grossing overall. But yeah, we're gonna parse this out here. So it grossed about 60 million. That is with the domestic take right there. Just in the theaters, as far as like the opening weekend, that was the gross there. Then next up we had Elemental breaking in about $12 million at the number 2 slot. A little over 12 million, 12,128,000. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse raked in a solid 12 million in its 5th week in the box office. That's pretty damn impressive. And then the modestly budgeted romantic comedy No Hard Feelings, 7.8 million, which Definitely doesn't sound like a lot, but let's kind of get into this because there's a lot to kind of talk about there. We'll go down a little bit further. Let's talk about Transformers Rise of the Beast, only getting about 7 million. This Ruby Gilman Teenage Kraken, only about 5 million. The Little Mermaid sitting down there at a paltry $5 million. The Flash, not even worth mentioning, still in 8th place. Asteroid City and Guardians of the Galaxy 3 in 9th and 10th, respectively. Surprised to even see Guardians 3 still in the runnings, to be completely honest with you. So I'll have to kind of look into this a little bit more, kind of see what I can figure out there on that one. I haven't actually touched on that one for a while, but going back over to the current situation as is, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. So the absolute gross numbers from the weekend, the worldwide box office, that is the domestic of 60,386,101, and the international box office take of 69,579,581 for a worldwide box office total 129,959 or 129,959,682. My apologies. So, yeah, this movie definitely, ouch, did not do well. So, especially now with that production budget being, already being admitted to 300 million, and now we're hearing that that's probably closer to 325 million or higher. That's no good for this movie. It is in dire straits right now. This movie, according to a lot of folks, it has already flopped. My estimation is that it has already flopped as well, because I mean, this movie, when you account for all of the factors that we take into account, this movie needed $900 million to break even. That is insane. $900 million. I mean, you were talking about, like, everybody wants to talk about those billion-dollar, like those movies that made billion-dollar, like, had like billion-dollar box office takes. Well, that's just the problem whenever you consider that a lot of those movies had considerably smaller budgets. I mean, so making $1 billion at the box office is actually a lot of money. That's actually good. But then we also have to take into consideration all of the additional factors, this, that, and whatever. And it's kind of a bad place, to be completely honest with you. I mean, having a movie that's going to cost you $900 million just to break even, that's terrible. Let's be completely honest. And then let's go over and let's talk about a number 2 contender, Elemental, sitting there, 89 million at the box office domestic, 97 million international for a worldwide take in its second or third week, I believe. I think it's third week. I'm not entirely sure. $187 million against a budget of $200 million, which that is still really bad. That means that this movie, like Indiana Jones, is a flop for Disney and Pixar and Lucasfilm. It's not going to happen. Yeah, stop trying to make this a thing. It's never going to be a thing. It's going to be a complete, absolute failure. It already is. We know it. And nobody likes this stuff. But you know what everybody does like, which absolutely still continues to surprise even me? Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse edged out a third place at the box office, only just barely behind Elemental. Elemental scraped out a little bit more of the box office, but I think that this movie actually scraped out pretty good, all things considered, only within a margin of error, really, for the two movies comparatively. But I mean, when you compare apples to oranges, let's actually look here at the budgets. This movie, $100 million budget. That means, taking all things into consideration, this movie needed about $200 million to break even. This movie is now sitting very comfortably at a total worldwide box office take at $613 million. That is an unmitigated success. That is huge. And especially considering that they've already announced that they wanted to do this as a trilogy anyway. The first movie made money. The second one did even better to make money. That means the third one, as long as they don't screw it up in the writer's room, it's gonna blow things out of the park. I mean, I'm excited to actually see how this one does with what they're gonna do with the third movie, to be quite honest. So, Spider-Man still absolutely making money hand over fist. Talking about the last movie in our top 4 countdown, there is No Hard Feelings, modestly budgeted movie. Now, the numbers on this one look a lot smaller than the other ones we're talking about. I mean, but we have to consider a production budget only $45 million. That means this movie really, honestly, only needed about 90 million-ish. I mean, that's like on the high end. I think this movie probably needed more in the ballpark. I mean, because this was not really marketed that much. Honestly, I think this movie really only needs about somewhere in the ballpark, I think 75 million or something like that to really kind of hit those numbers. And I mean, it's already tracking pretty well, 53 million. I mean, these movies don't usually make a lot of money. But, I mean, they're also considerably lower budget. So, I mean, when you really consider it, this movie's probably, like, already hit its target goals. It's probably already made its money back. And probably already just, I mean, if I would have to kind of guess on there, I would say this movie is probably on track to, I mean, it's not going to be a doorbuster. It's not going to make a lot of money. But I think it's going to actually do okay for, basically what is a low-budget rom-com at this point. I mean, duking it out with these other big tentpole movies, that's pretty respectable, to be completely honest with you. So, yeah, the weekend was an absolute slobber knocker in the theaters. Definitely Disney and Lucasfilm taking a huge L between the continued failure of Elemental and this absolute shellacking that they got from Indy 5. This movie this movie's done. I'm just going to come out and say it. This movie's done. It's over. So, yeah, folks, that is your weekend update. I know this one kind of came out in the middle of the week. But I wanted to make sure we got the full 5-day numbers on some of these because this is kind of a bit of an odd situation. But yeah, this weekend was definitely an interesting one at the box office. And, well, to be quite honest with you, it's not hard to see why Indy 5 really crashed so hard whenever we kind of look back at a lot of the stuff I've already reported. So, if you want my full thoughts and information on that, I definitely recommend you go back and check out my earlier videos. If you can do me a favor, please definitely go down there, hit that like button. If you're new here, you like what I'm doing, hit that subscribe button. I am growing like gangbusters. We have grown by over 30 subscribers in the last just couple weeks alone, like 2 weeks alone. That is huge. So I cannot do this without you. I need everybody. If you can, subscribe, watch my streams, watch my videos. I want to make content for you, the viewers. I want to do this stuff for you guys out there. So I've got some cool new stuff planned. Hopefully, if I can get things all set up right, I hopefully have a live stream tonight doing a little bit more of the unexplained and talking about some interesting legislation that recently came down. We'll talk more about that tonight. But anyway, until then, thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate y'all sticking around to the end of the video. Again, hit that like button, hit the subscribe, make sure you ring that notification bell so you know when new videos and live streams go up. And I will see you all on the next video. Peace.